Professors, do you think the black community will support him as strongly this election as they did in 2008?
Professor Turner, do you want to do that first?
Sure. No, I don't think so. Why would we? Just because Republicans have a cardboard cutout of a candidate who has not promised to do anything for us, so what? We're used to that. In making our expectation rise, like he did, thinking there really might be a better day coming, you know, that hope and change thing, that's the problem. When slaves got agitated thinking real freedom was actually coming, when President Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation, that's when the real trouble started. Many of us actually started to think we could have a better life. Well, that was a lie then, and it's a lie now. No, just leave us alone. We'll fend for ourselves just like we've always done. We don't need any more false hopes and dreams. We just need to accept that we're black and disrespected, and we won't ever get to be any better than that in this country. No, we won't vote for the Republican candidate, but many of us are going to just sit this one out. We're frustrated as hell.
Professor Turner, now you know too many of our fathers and mothers and grandparents died for us to have the right to vote. For us to sit home and not participate in one of the most important elections in the entire history of African Americans is actually unconscionable. We should not, nobody should even advocate that. We should get involved. I don't care whether we're black Republicans, whether we are black independents, whether we're going to vote for the Peace and Freedom Party, the Green Party, or vote for Barack Obama, but we need to participate. We cannot ever allow our continuing victimization to stop us from moving forward. We're too good for that. We're too creative. We're too smart. We can't. Besides the point, let me go back a minute. We have been told, for example, that there are more African American males in prison than we have in colleges and universities. It's not true. People have been lying to us, which is why we cannot sit this one out. We have to come out and dig the information up. There are at least 1.2 million African American males in college and universities right now. And that whole thing about, well, we have all of these African American women and a lot more women than men at the HBCUs and other colleges and universities, that's not true either. At the HBCUs, the ratio is actually 1.75 African American females to 1 African American male. African American men are in colleges and universities. We are moving ahead. We are trying to change the paradigm. We cannot sit this one out. The only reason that there will be a slight dip in the percentages of the African American population voting for Barack Obama will be, number one, it's the second election and not the first one. It's a little harder to get to the polls if you are in one of these Republican areas where they're trying to get these voter IDs so that they're making it more difficult for you to vote anyway. There are about 14 states the Republicans have tried to make sure a lot of seniors, a lot of Latinos, Latinas, a lot of African Americans cannot vote. They have done a good job of trying to basically not disenfranchise, that's the wrong word, but to not allow people to exercise their right to vote. There may be a slight dip in the percentage of African Americans voting for Barack Obama for president, but the dip will not be noticeable. The African American population is going to vote by a 90% or higher ratio, just as they did in 2008 when they voted 95% for Barack Obama. The African American women, who are very, very important in the electorate, are going to again strongly support Barack Obama, and American women, white women, who really are going to be the crux of this particular election, are going to vote for the Democratic nominee. So to answer your question, will they support him as strongly as they did in 2008? I don't think you're going to see the Crips and the Bloods out in standing in the line to vote for him as they did this time, nor will they be on Crenshaw Boulevard jumping up and down and blocking the street in celebration that Barack Obama got reelected. No, I don't think that's going to happen. However, the support will be just as strong, if not as emotional, because African Americans who are not really being polled, I don't know who these people are talking to. I don't know who the Gallup poll is talking to. The African American population is proud of Barack Obama. He has not embarrassed him. He has handled his obligations well. He has been a gentleman. He's been a scholar. He's been somebody who tried to work together, even with people who insult him and talk bad to him. No, he has been a very, very strong representation of what Dr. Martin Luther King asked for. Because he has been so consistent, as Professor Turner said, he's got the moves. He has that kind of confidence. The African American population will strongly support and probably support as much as they did in 2012 as they did in 2008. And Barack Obama will be reelected.
Professors, as a final comment, what do you think an African American president means in 21st century America?
I guess you want me to take that one too so you can have the final say? Well, it did mean a great deal at first, at least symbolically. At last, we have a black man who broke the ultimate glass ceiling in this country to become president of the United States of America. What a moment. What a moment. But that bloom is off the flower now. The job is just too difficult. What's the use? The Tea Party Republicans have banded together to stop any progress from this president. More and more American racism is seeping out all over the place, and black people are still at the bottom of virtually every measurement of success and progress in this country. Hey, quit before things get worse and you get blamed for that too. That's what I say. In fact, I never wanted him to run in the first place because I knew they were going to throw him under the W bus. We had our chance. The president tried his best. It just wasn't good enough. I still say the best part of all, it was actually having Michelle Obama as the first lady. That is an image for the ages, for the young black girls to counter all of this bottom feeding emerging from these reality shows. Michelle Obama, that is what proud, beautiful, and classy black women look like every day. That I will miss. But it's time to move on. Give them their country back.
It's not their country, it's our country. We helped to build this. Not only did we rebuild the White House after the British burned it down twice, not only have we built all those southern plantations and all those colonial mansions, no. We helped to build this country. So it's our country, not just those from Texas and Wisconsin. Listen, the president in September 2011 proposed the American Jobs Act. Now, the American Jobs Act, even based on what the Office of Management and Budget said, would produce over 2 million jobs in 1 year. The president has been advocating in Congress lobbying Congress, pressuring Congress, pass the American Jobs Act. They should have gotten it done before the midterm elections. They did not. And so the Republicans who came in right after that have made sure that Jobs Acts never got passed. In fact, Mitt Romney keeps talking about the president has no jobs plan, which is absolute nonsense. The Jobs Act plan has been all over the internet. It is the most comprehensive Jobs Act anybody has seen basically since the 1930s. How do we do something about that? Because that Jobs Act would help us. It would help us come from the 16% unemployment and get it down. By the way, we have had double, whatever the white unemployment rate has been, we've always had double. When they had 4%, we had 8. When they had 8%, it's supposed to be 8.2 now, we got 16. This is the first time that you had legislation that attacked that tried to basically change that. So here is my advice. Here's my advice to everybody who will pay attention. Stop complaining, as President Obama said to the Congressional Black Caucus last year. Stop complaining, start working. Instead of talking about what the president has or has not done for you and for me, go out and take these people out of office who are blocking legislation that would help change your circumstances. Get political, get organized, get people elected who are good, and get people unelected who are not progressive. We should not be in a situation where it's progressives versus regressives, but that's where we are. President Barack Obama is one of the progressives. We need to take what he has provided, the opening, the opportunity, and use it to get something done. That's what they did in Wisconsin. A lot of us only paid attention to Scott Walker and whether he got recalled. We didn't pay attention to the union worked very, very hard to take out the Republican legislators in the Senate and the House. So now the Democrats are in charge in Wisconsin, in the legislature. So you can have a Republican governor, but now you have to have a dialogue. We need to do that. We need to do our political work. It's not the president as a superhero who will save us. All the president can do is provide an opportunity, provide an environment to start the infrastructure. It's up to us to do something about it. We have to be political enough to save ourselves. So clearly, we are not at the point of giving up. As James Weldon Johnson's famous black national anthem said, we must always keep faith and hope for our own future. Thank you very much, Professor.
Thank you, Dr. Horne.
Thank you, Dr. Horne and Professor Turner. Again, we must note that the professors are only advocating intellectual positions, not their personal beliefs. As we said before, this is an educational dialogue. Thank you for watching. I'm Joe Martinez.